You know that one student who effortlessly earns straight A's, the type who enters the exam room as if they just ended world hunger during their lunch hour? Then there are the rest of us, those who study for hours, mark every line with bright colors, and yet still manage to forget the answer to "What's your name?" when it's time for the test. There are two categories of students in the world: the learning deities and the learning humans. If you're viewing this, you're likely questioning, why on earth am I trapped in the human category? Is it merely an unfortunate chance, unfavorable genes? Or did I mistakenly sign up for the How to Remain Average Eternally Academy? Warning, it's not any of those. The reality is far more captivating. It's not about having a special brain capability or hidden skill from birth. Nope, it's completely about the methods you apply for studying. Or, to be more truthful, the ones you neglect. Consider it. The study gods don't have gold stars on their foreheads. They lack a direct connection to the professor's mind. What they possess is a hidden advantage. They learn more efficiently, not with extra effort. In the meantime, many of us find ourselves trapped in the continuous cycle of mark everything and wish for success, which, to reveal, is the scholarly version of applying a band-aid to a sinking vessel. Here's a funny fact. Marking pages in your textbook doesn't aid in your learning. It truly exacerbates the situation. Your mind perceives all those vivid hues and thinks, awesome, I can handle this, and quickly overlooks everything. You're essentially deceiving your mind into believing it is already familiar with the content. It's akin to heading to the gym, facing the mirror, and showing off your muscles. Okay, now that we've debunked the myth of magical minds and highlighter obsession, let's discuss what's truly happening within that head of yours. Primarily your short-term memory, consider it as the exclusive area of your brain's nightclub. Only around 7 individuals can stay there at the same time. This implies your brain is essentially yelling, "No way, you can't take your whole textbook to the party." Yet, here you are, attempting to stuff in 30 facts as if they're discounted at a clearance sale. And can you believe it? The bouncer in your brain is extremely rigid. Attempt to cram in too many elements, and it will reject some of them quicker than you can utter pop quiz. That chapter has 20 pages? Merely 7 enticing morsels truly reach the VIP lounge. The remainder, pushed to the back of the line, or even worse, dismissed permanently. Additionally, consider that your brain handles conscious information at approximately 120 bits per second. Simply hearing someone speak occupies roughly 50% of that time. Attempting to watch Netflix, scroll through TikTok, message your crush, and study simultaneously is akin to asking your brain to juggle chainsaws while on a roller coaster. Warning, it's likely to conclude poorly. The myth of multitasking? Completely caught. What seems like multitasking is your brain rapidly changing tasks, and every switch diminishes your concentration and recall ability. Picture changing TV channels every 10 seconds while attempting to understand the storyline. Indeed, you would overlook the complete narrative as well. Here's the situation. Your brain isn't designed for multitasking. It's a sharp-minded warrior who prefers to target one objective at a time. Handle it like that, and you'll achieve much better outcomes. Now, let's discuss the concept of forgetting. Because your brain? It's kind of a diva. It doesn't hold on to things just because you ask nicely. In fact, it forgets on purpose. That's right, unless you give it a reason to remember something, it'll gladly toss that fact out like expired milk. Enter the infamous forgetting curve. This sneaky little graph shows how fast your memory ghosts you after learning something. You could study for hours today and forget half of it by tomorrow. Yeah, half. That's like baking a cake, taking one bite, and tossing the rest into the ocean. Your brain's not trying to be mean, it's just efficient. It only keeps what you keep coming back to. That's why cramming might get you through tomorrow's quiz, but it won't do squat for next week's test. It's like building a sandcastle at high tide. So if you've ever read a chapter, felt like a genius, and then forgotten everything the next day, like your brain hit reset, you're not broken. You're just bumping up against how memory works. But don't worry, you're not doomed to keep starting from zero every time you study. There is a better way to fight the forgetting curve. Alright, you've made it this far, so let's dive into the real secret sauce that separates the study gods from the me-I'll-wing-it crowd. Active recall and spaced repetition. Sounds fancy, right? Don't worry, I'll break it down without the jargon jungle. First, active recall. Imagine your brain as a muscle. Yeah, like your biceps. If you just sit on the couch watching other people flex, your brain doesn't get any stronger. The same goes for studying. Passively reading or highlighting is basically brain lounging, feels productive, but gets you nowhere. Active recall is like doing push-ups for your memory. Instead of feeding your brain answers on a silver platter, you make it hunt for those answers. Close your textbook, cover your notes, and ask yourself, what did I just learn? Then actually try to remember it. Feel that panic? Good. That panic is your brain waking up and saying, all right, I better pay attention now. Science backs this. Students who use active recall retain about 50% more info than those who just reread notes like hypnotized zombies. Plus, every time you struggle to remember something, you're building stronger neural pathways. It's like your brain's personal CrossFit. Now here's where spaced repetition comes in like a boss. Instead of cramming everything at once, you review material in spaced intervals, like tomorrow, then a few days later, then a week later, and so on. It's the memory equivalent of giving your brain tiny, manageable workouts instead of one giant marathon. This technique tricks your brain into thinking, hey, this stuff is important, let me lock it down for good. And it works. Big time. You can even use apps like Anki or Quizlet to make this process automatic. They're your brain's trainers, reminding you exactly when to show up for your mental workouts. No excuses. Now here's something that's going to flip your study game. Testing. Yes, tests. I know, the mere mention makes you want to hide under the covers. But hear me out. Tests aren't just judgment days or cruel traps. They're your brain's secret weapon. When you test yourself and get an answer wrong, your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. It says, okay, pay attention here. It's like finding a treasure map leading right to what you need to focus on next. So, after every study session, create 5 questions that would stump your past self. Then answer them without cheating. No peeking. If you get it wrong, celebrate, because you just found the exact spot your brain needs more reps on. Here's the magic. Testing rewires your brain's pathways, making the info stick way better than just reading or highlighting ever could. And if you want to take it to the next level, mix up your study topics. Your brain is like a DJ who hates playing the same track on repeat. Switch between math, history, science, or whatever you're tackling. It feels confusing at first, but that confusion is your brain remixing the playlist, building stronger, more flexible connections. So, to recap, active recall, spaced repetition, self-testing, and mixing topics are the habits that turn average study folks into rock stars. Now, if you want to become one of those study rock stars and crush your goals, here's what you should do right now. Pause this video, grab a piece of paper, and write down 3 questions about what you just learned. Then answer, no cheating. If you nailed it, awesome. If not, that's even better, because you just found your study goldmine. And hey, if you found this video helpful or even a little entertaining, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I've got tons more tips coming your way that will level up your brain and your life. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's your biggest study struggle? Let's chat. I want to hear from you. Remember, being great at studying isn't about some magic talent or super brain power. It's about using smart, science-backed strategies that anyone can learn. You've got this, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. Catch you in the next video, where we'll unpack even more ways to unlock your best self.